I was an author, a creator of worlds born from ink and paper. I still write, but now my words are unseen, my voice unheard. A strange fate has befallen me, and I must tell you my story. It began in January. I had an ambitious idea for a novel, a long and intricate tale that demanded solitude. I left my life behind and found a small, secluded room. This is the perfect place for a writer, I thought. Here I will bring my book to life. The room was modest, but its quiet tranquility was all I needed. I began to write, and for a time I was content. Then the strange occurrences started. One afternoon, I was at my desk, pen in hand, when a sudden craving for coffee struck me. I'll have to go to the shop, I realized, placing my pen on the table. When I returned, the pen was gone. I searched everywhere, on the floor, on my chair, on the table again, but it had vanished. I don't understand, I murmured to myself. That night, something even more unsettling happened. I was in bed, the room enveloped in silence, when I was jolted awake. What was that? I wondered. Then I heard a man's voice. "Who's there?" I called out, my heart pounding. There was no reply, no one to be seen. I was terrified and utterly bewildered. What's happening to me? I thought. From then on, strange things happened daily. But the book had to be finished, so I endured. The room was sparsely furnished, a bed, a table, a chair, and an old ornate mirror on the wall. I'd always liked that mirror. One day, I glanced at my reflection and saw him, the other man. He had a beard, a feature I did not possess. I squeezed my eyes shut and looked again. This time, my own face stared back at me. I must have imagined it, I told myself, trying to dismiss the incident. I took a long walk that day, unable to focus on my writing. I didn't want to be in that room, a spectator to its unsettling mysteries. That night, I returned to a silent room. I looked in the mirror and saw my own reflection, but the sight brought me no comfort. Sleep eluded me. I'll leave tomorrow, I resolved, and with that decision, I finally drifted off. But the night held another terror. The other man stood by my bed, his voice a chilling whisper. "You will never leave here," he said. "You will stay with me." My eyes flew open. A cold dread washed over me. I'm leaving now, I thought, my hands trembling. I can't stay here another minute. I hastily packed my belongings, the man's words echoing in my mind. I was afraid, but of what I didn't know. With my clothes packed, I was ready to flee. I took one last look around the room, my gaze falling upon the mirror. A new wave of fear, colder and more intense than before, gripped me. The other man wasn't in the mirror, but neither was I. My reflection was gone. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my lips. I had no voice. And then I saw him, the man with the beard. He wasn't in the mirror. He was sitting at my table, my pen in his hand, writing my book. Rage surged through me, but I was powerless. I couldn't speak, couldn't move. The man didn't say a word. He just smiled and continued to write. Suddenly, a knock at the door. It was my friend, Ethan. "Are you there?" he called out. "I wanted to see you." A flicker of hope ignited within me. But I was still frozen, a prisoner in my own body. The other man, however, rose and opened the door. "Come in," he said to Ethan, his voice a perfect imitation of my own. "Come and see my room. I'm writing my book." Ethan entered, his eyes scanning the room, but he didn't see me. He smiled at the imposter. "Oh, you have a beard now," he remarked. Again and again I tried to speak, to make my presence known, but it was futile. Ethan couldn't see me, couldn't hear me. He only saw the other man. And so, this is my story. The other man has my room, my face, and my voice. He will finish my book. But there's one thing he doesn't know. I can still write. I can still tell my story.